All right, hey, welcome back. Woodley here. Today we're going to work on turning this stump into a planter box for some geraniums. Every year on Mother's Day, our church gives out geraniums to the moms, and they're awesome flowers. They just bloom all summer long. They're super hardy. And in our last house, we had a big stump, and that had been dead, and we cut into it and we chipped away at it with hatchets and hammers and chisels, and we were able to plant for several years in it. So we're going to see if we can speed that process up here today with the chainsaw, get these geraniums planted in here, and hopefully have blooming flowers all summer long. took a good bit of work, but way easier than just hatching it out, and we got ourselves a pretty good depth. I would say, we got 8 to 10 inches there, and I just have 2 of those plants. So I'm going to get some compost, put that in there. Let's plant them and see how this looks. I gotta see if 1 bucket of compost will be enough. I think it should be. If you've got some good compost, in my opinion, that's the key to these. Anything you want to grow, if you have some good, rich planting, you are got half the battle. Perfect. Okay, so we got our flowers. Let's pull back. And even though it is raining a little bit, I'm gonna just get a little water in the bucket, give them a little drink, and we'll be good to go. Give them each a little drink. Well, there you have it, from stump to planter in very little time. These will come back. They have been just, needing to get planted, but they'll, as I said before, they'll continue to grow all summer long. So pretty fun little project. Got a ridiculous amount of wood chips. I probably should have moved my tractor because I shot a bunch of stuff onto that, a bunch of it all over my phone, but that's what happens. Sometimes I fail to remember to change before I start doing these things. So let me give you a little update for those of you who were following the outdoor challenge. So I want to give a little update for those of you who were following the April outdoor challenge that I was doing, where I was doing the carnivore diet and was doing an hour a day of outside work and play. And that really kind of established a baseline for me to take some next steps, and just want to share about what those next steps have been. Number one is I have continued on the carnivore diet. In a little bit, I'll share some of the lessons and things that I'm having to adjust related to that. Number two, based on my friend Jer's recommendation, I got a Google Pixel watch off of eBay. Got a leather band off of Amazon. I get that skin reaction, and it had kind of turned me off to those smartwatches, but realized I could get a different band on it. So that's been fun to have some of the numbers. Based on that, my resting heart rate is 56. So that's a really great range where it's at. In my mind, I'm kind of like, if I could get my resting heart rate into the 40s, that would be awesome. So we'll see. No specific strategy to get towards that yet, but it is in my mind. I was doing pull-ups in the outdoor challenge. I was doing just a set a day, and I had started at 3, and I had gotten up to 10 on the very last day. But what I've done since then is I've actually started doing some weightlifting, about 25 minutes 2 or 3 days a week. And my focus is on trying to build, in particular, my leg and core strength. So squats, single leg squats, exercises like that, a little bit of like dumbbell stuff as well. And I'm trying to build up the strength base of my legs, in part because I've launched a new painting business. And so I'm a teacher, I'm also a pastor, but in the summers, over the past 10 years, I have painted. And I've been working for a guy who I teach with. That's been a great job. He's got lots of work, but I saw the opportunity to take on a little more responsibility, and there's a little more reward for that. So I ventured out into that. We've got some jobs lined up. I've got some family members who are interested in working as well. So we've got the capacity to grow a little bit in the months of July and August. And for me, physically, I want to be ready for that work, ready to, to do the ladder stuff. And so that's kind of what I've been building for. As a part of that, I've been doing pull-ups. So I haven't been doing them every day, but I have been doing them with those workouts. And instead of just one set, I've been doing multiple sets and adding some push movement in it. So there was a calisthenic guy that I'm following, and he talks about you should do 2 push movements for every 1 pull. So I'm not exactly matching that, but I kind of have around that ratio going in those programs. What I found is I'm burning a lot of calories, and I think part of that is the increased workouts. I'm also trying to get that 10,000 step goal a day, and I'm, according to my watch and the Fitbit Premium, I'm burning anywhere between 3,500 and 4,000 plus calories a day. Well, I was like feeling pretty weak the last couple of days, and I went and looked and just sort of threw in what I'd been eating, and I was only eating around 2,500 calories. So that's one of the things that can happen in the carnivore diet is like you don't have the hunger cravings as much when you're eating like the sugars and the breads and those insulin spikes. So you can feel pretty satiated, but what I'm kind of experiencing is I actually need to eat more, and I probably need to try to make sure that I get more fat in what I'm eating. So that's what I'm working towards in relationship to that. And that's a little follow-up of where we are since April, continuing in those ways. Lots going on, but this was a fun little project. I appreciate you watching. Feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments, and God bless you, and I hope to see you on the next one.